Moin Leute und willkommen zurück zu einem weiteren, ja ich sag mal, Let's Play. Die Stanley Parable, in diesem Fall die Ultra Deluxe Edition. Das Spiel kam, glaube ich, 2018 raus und habe ich eigentlich schon länger auf dem Schirm, wollte ich schon immer mal wieder, also was heißt schon wieder, mal spielen. Worum geht's? Eigentlich spielt das Spiel mehr mit uns, als dass wir mit dem Spiel spielen. Ist voller kleiner Gags, wir laufen eigentlich die ganze Zeit durch ein Bürogebäude und eine Erzählerstimme sagt uns, was wir zu tun haben. Und daran können wir uns halten oder es halt lassen. Und je nachdem, wie wir uns entscheiden, gibt es unfassbar seltsame, weirde Enden oder Verläufe. Basiert auf, also im Endeffekt ganz viele kleine Gags, Easter Eggs. Und ich würde sagen, wir starten einfach mal rein. Wenn es euch gefällt, lasst gerne ein Like da. Dann werde ich wahrscheinlich davon auch mehrere Folgen bringen. Und Abfahrt.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ja, leider gibt es das Spiel nicht auf, also mit deutscher Sprache, sondern mit deutschem Untertitel. So, wenn ihr uns schon mal sagt, dass wir aufstehen und rausgehen sollen, könnte hier irgendwas passieren, wenn wir es nicht tun. Ich glaube, die Erzählerstimme ist auch. Oh, Moment. Ah! Das wollte ich so nicht. Ich wollte gerade sagen, die Erzählerstimme ist ein bisschen laut, aber der Sound an sich ist ein bisschen leise. So, na gut, jetzt habe ich mich trotzdem bewegt. Gehen wir mal raus.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, machen wir mal, was die liebe Stimme sagt. Kann ja nur richtig sein. Okay, Meetingraum. I hate Mondays. Oh. Okay, wir können Türen öffnen.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Komm, ich würde sagen, beim ersten Mal rebellieren wir jetzt nicht und machen das, was er sagt. Können wir ducken? Springen können wir nicht. Meetingraum.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Wie man einen Streit mit einem Mitarbeiter bewältigt. Das ging mir zu schnell. Okay. Ja, das müssen alles ganz viele kleine Gags sein. Mein Englisch ist jetzt nicht so super, dass ich euch das alles übersetzen will. Das wäre eine Zumutung für euch.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Also seht ihr, also wäre ich jetzt weitergelaufen, wäre jetzt die Stimme nicht getriggert worden.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Ist aber irgendwie ein witziges Gefühl, wenn man weiß, man kann diese Stimme triggern.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Mhm. Aber kann ich mit nichts interagieren? Gar nichts?
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Na, gucken, was weiter passiert.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Und ich glaube, das stimmt gar nicht.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Okay, damit kann man anscheinend schon ein Ende triggern. Wollte ich eigentlich gar nicht. Ich wollte eigentlich wirklich den Lieben.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Alter, was ist mit dir?
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Ja, jetzt ganz bestimmt nicht mehr. Das ist mein Humor.
Later.
Nee, ich glaube, es kommt nichts mehr.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, nach oben. Sind wir wieder lieb zu unserem Erzähler. Ja? Badezimmer. I've got the feeling money... Was? I've got the feeling money for stealing. But no, that's not yours, of course. Say that's a lovely purse. Okay. Extra bathroom time. Hier geht nichts. Ich glaube nicht. Okay. Schick.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Ja.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. "2845.
Huh?
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Huh? Oh. Ich hoffe, ich bin nicht der Einzige, der das witzig findet. Sonst mache ich mir Sorgen um mich. Okay, jetzt wird's düster. Hilfe.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Ausgang. Nee, wir sind lieb. Wir machen, was man uns sagt. Ein großer Knopf.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Ich kann nicht nochmal drücken. Kamera. Immer noch I Hate Mondays. Dann Kamera.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Mitarbeiter Nummer 104 ist gefeuert. Und 601. Was haben wir? 427? Wir sind da. Okay. Mensch.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay, nimmt gerade ein bisschen Dramatik auf. Jetzt Knöpfe mit Zahlen drauf. Eins. Die 3 habe ich gerade schon gesehen. 5. 3. Was soll ich daneben? 2. 3 war hier. Hier ist die 5. Ne, die 4 versteckt. Hallo? Da oben? Ich sehe nichts. Ah, hier hoch. Ne, ist zu. Okay, dann gehen wir mal weiter. Mind Control Idle awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Schlage das Spiel. Ja, das Spiel durchgespielt. Ja, und wir starten wieder am Anfang. Er hätte seine erste Errungenschaft, ist auch eine Errungenschaft. Okay. Diesmal haben wir alles gemacht, was er wollte. Beim nächsten Mal machen wir das Gegenteil. Okay, wenn es euch gefallen hat, lasst gerne ein Like da. Wenn ihr irgendwelche Secrets kennt, sagt mal bitte Bescheid. Danke fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao. Hoppala.